Welcome to Go Lurk Yourself, a podcast about streaming and playing video games on the internet. My name is Crunky.
I am Cherry Cake.
Welcome, everybody. Sorry we missed a week. We had some real-life issues coming up. Cherry was on, as you guys call it, holiday, and I've had some extra work stuff, so we missed a week. We wanted to talk about Apex last week, but I think by this point, it's probably been talked to death about, and no one cares.
Yeah, it's done. It's gone.
It's really like Snuffus and I were going to record a couple days ago, and I thought, man, people are sick to death of hearing about Snuffus, or about they're sick to death about hearing about Snuffus.
What's Snuffus?
No, they're sick to death of hearing about Apex. It's like literally, I open my YouTube and it's just all over the place. So I'm like, okay. If you don't know, Apex Legends is a new battle royale game that's, you know, from the guys who made Titanfall. It's hugely popular. Everybody's playing it. And if you want to know more about it, you can literally just go anywhere on the internet and hear all about it. But this week, we're going to talk about more old news. About a week ago, actually, it's been about 5-6 days. Nintendo had a Direct, and it happened in the middle of us being off for a week. So Cherry messaged me. She's like, "Oh my god, I want to talk about this Nintendo Direct right now." And I'm like, "Well, we can't record with you remote. Let's do it when you get back." So here we are playing some catch up.
Yeah.
But before we talk about the Nintendo Direct, let's talk about were you able to get any gaming in while you were on vacation?
A little bit.
Excuse me, holiday.
A vacation. It wasn't really a vacation per se, but I kind of did. I'm still in the process of just messing around in Zelda still. I ended...
That would be Breath of the Wild?
Yes, yeah, Breath of the Wild, yeah.
Important to specify with the news coming on, yeah.
I know, yeah, that's going to be weird. So I ended up kind of like mooching around Hyrule and looking for little creatures to upgrade, or fully upgrade my armor. So I spent a lot of time doing that, which was quite fun because it made me explore areas that I kind of missed the last time that I played it, the first time around.
Okay.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. The other thing that I actually played before I went on holiday, there was one day that I'd come home from work because I wasn't feeling too well, and then I was feeling sorry for myself, so I was sat on... I know, yeah. Oh, get the violin out. I was sat on my Switch and I was like, you know when you look through your library, you've got things to play, but you just don't want to play anything on that you've got, so I wanted something new. And the previous week, me and our friend Voxicor had been playing Donkey Kong Country 2 for the SNES, but we did it like what's called net play. So we played like over the internet co-op, which is really fun. Slightly laggy, but it was really fun. I'd never played before, so it was quite an interesting experience. So I kind of got like in the mood for some retro gaming, and the Brozerker, who is Voxicor's husband, suggested the Sega Classics that is on the Nintendo Store. It's also available on, I think it's on Steam as well.
Oh, right.
And I think it's on console as well, actually. So yeah, I looked around and checked out the listing of what was included, and there were some real proper classics on there. There were some that weren't included, which I was quite disappointed in. So
like they couldn't get the rights to it or something?
Yeah, so me and I've talked about my brother and sister before. Obviously, with being three of us, we need games that we can at least play with two players and we can rotate. So we used to play a lot of things like Road Rash and Skitchin, those kind of sports games where you can co-op at the same time. Unfortunately, those two aren't on the collection, which is, to me, it's a disappointment, but I don't know the backstory. Like you say, they may not have been able to get any.
It's funny you mentioned that because I think some of the people who originally made Road Rash have a Nintendo Switch game out called Road Revival or something like that.
I have seen that, yeah.
Yeah, it just looks like Road Rash. If you've never played Road Rash, I think maybe Road Rash wasn't as popular here. I know of it, like because there's people beating the shit out of each other on motorcycles. What's not to love?
Exactly.
But anyway, I'm sorry. What was included in the Sega Classics?
So there's definitely some definite classics on there. So you've got like the Golden Axe series. I think you get 1, 2. I didn't actually realize there was a third one, so that's been interesting. All of them. Also ones like Decap Attack, which I was reluctant to play because that scared the crap out of me when I was a kid.
What's it called?
Decap Attack.
Oh, I think you said Decap Attack. That's a completely different movie. Or video game.
Have you seen Decap Attack?
No, I've never heard of this.
It's a platformer, like most of the retro games were. And what you play as is a really disturbing creature. You're kind of like a human like form, but you're monsterized in some way, and you don't have a head. Your head is in the center of your body, and you're covered in like bandages. Obviously, like you're an experiment. That's something that's kind of gone a little bit wrong.
So you're the one who was decapitated. You're not doing the decapitation.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I was picturing like a axe wielding maniac running around cutting people's heads off. Like, how can I have not heard of this? This sounds great.
Yeah, you probably would have heard of that otherwise. And basically, the thing that scared me about it was the actual attack that you have as I can't remember the name of the character itself, but what happens is where your head is in the center of your body, it comes out, it like ejects itself in front of you, and that's the attack. But the animation for it is a little bit, for a kid anyway, seeing this is a little bit grim, because it's like imagine like the skin and flesh being pulled back on a skull.
It sounds very dark.
Yeah, like looking at it now, it's really tame. But at the time for when I was like, I don't know, like 11, 12, it scared the absolute Jesus out of me. So that was fun going back to play that.
While you were telling me about it, I pulled up pictures of it. I've never seen or heard of this. Was this only released like in Europe, maybe?
It might have been. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
That's crazy. Yeah. Never even heard of it.
So there's other ones on there that's like, you do get this, a couple of the Sonic the Hedgehog series. You do get 1 and 2. The third one isn't included in it, which is a shame because it's not my favourite, but it is definitely one that I enjoyed playing.
You just want to have them all anyway, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Also Sonic Spinball is on there as well, which I do have very, very fond memories of playing that with my sister, so that was always nice to go back to as well. The other ones to include, which I have a high like standard, keeping high rating, is the Streets of Rage series. So you got Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3. 3 not so much because it's a little bit. They when they got to the third one, they kind of like amped it up a bit too much and made it stupidly hard. So like I can't even get past the first level. So there's that. But yeah, Streets of Rage series, I do have very, very fond memories of playing again, because that is a co-op game as well. So playing that with my siblings, some great memories. And the last one's probably worth mentioning, for me at least, is ToeJam and Earl, which those of you that are like on the button with news or game releases, there's a new ToeJam and Earl coming out at the beginning of March, which is kind of like a remake of the first one. I don't know if you've ever played it, Crumb.
I've seen it played, but I never really was able to get into it. Like, I know him mostly from, there was an art program on what we had, the Genesis here, that had ToeJam and Earl characters in it. So I know him more from that than actually playing the ToeJam and Earl game.
Oh, right, okay. So yeah, basically just been reliving my childhood through the Sega classics on the Switch. What about you? What have you been?
Before we get done with yours, did you get Wargroove?
I did get Wargroove.
How did
I played
you
it
try
once.
it yet? That was all you needed to know?
Unfortunately, yeah. Like, I want to like it. I really do, because I know some people hold it in such high regard because it seems like a great game. But for me, the whole turn-based kind of genre isn't really my kind of thing. But I definitely see the appeal of it. I don't know if, was it last time we were talking, or we might have mentioned it off air, but we were saying that it's a really good design that they've got with the multiplayer games, because you don't have to be present all the time with taking your turn. You can take your turn, put it down, and then the other person can take their turn whenever they want. So it's a good thing in that there's no real pressure to.
It's kind of like the old ways of playing chess to the mail or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's cross-platform. It's a great campaign. It's got a campaign editor. You can make your own campaigns with your own dialogue.
Oh, nice.
And everything, and you can share them amongst friends. It's like, I wasn't going to get it because the last couple times I played a game like that, I kind of trailed off real quick. Like I play it for a day or two and then I don't play it. But that one, there were enough of my friends playing it that I really enjoyed it. Like I'm still playing it here and there. I bought it for Dee on the Switch. She's kind of like you. She's really not into that game right now, but she says, yeah, I do want it. So let's have it on the Switch. So I'll play it on the Switch sometimes when I go to bed.
Yeah.
I prefer it with mouse and keyboard. The Switch controls are just a little like sluggish for me, but
yeah,
that's not bad. It's just that like I've started out playing on the PC, so I'm kind of spoiled by it. But
how many players can you actually have on the multiplayer part?
4 at once, and you can. I have not tested this, but I was given the impression when I booted it up that you could do either free for all, or you can do 2v2, or you can do 1 versus 3.
Oh,
or
wow.
you could just do 1-on-1 or 1 versus 1 versus 1, a 3-player free for all. But I know College has it, Zerker has it, Chris has it, somebody else whose name's escaping me. But we've got a couple multiplayer games going. The thing about the chest of the mail aspect of it is when you got 4 players, it could be like days before it's your turn to go again. So it's a little stressful sometimes. Like you're checking on your game. You're like, oh no, they're not there anymore.
He's like, why won't you take your turn?
I'll send a message that said, if you don't take your turn, I will kill you. Take 5 minutes to take your fucking turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what I'll do is I'll sit there and I'll study the board. I'm like, okay, if he does this, then I'll do that. If he does it, and then they turn. I'm like, no, not that move, you asshole. That's not what I wanted.
Yeah.
But Zerker and I've been playing it. He's in England with you, where you live, or I don't know, not near you, but in the same country as you, same time zone as you. So like he'll message me as he's going to bed. It's like midnight there. My time, it's like 8:00 in the evening. He's like, hey, I'm going to go to bed. You going to play a quick round of this as I go to sleep? I'm like, sure. And then like all of a sudden he'll stop moving. And I'm like,
that's when
you must have fell asleep. We'll finish this up tomorrow.
That's like me when I'm trying to text someone back. Like the conversation's going and then I don't reply. And I'm like, yeah, I fell asleep. So sorry.
Fell asleep waiting for your slow ass to type.
Yeah.
The other game I've been playing is I did play Apex Legends quite a bit. Not as much as some people. I kind of got like really excited about it because it reminded me of Titanfall. Yeah. And then I played it for a while and I kind of like fell out of love with it. I had a couple of really bad matches and I played with some people I normally don't play with and I was like frustrated by that. I'm like, I'd rather do something fun. So I played a lot of, Rainbow Six again.
Back to Siege.
Dee has been really getting into that, so we've been playing that together a lot. And I played a little bit more of the DLC for Resident Evil 2. That's been nice. A lot of fun. They put out this, they call it the Secret Survivors, and it's these like scenarios basically where you play another character they dropped in, and you have to fight your way out. I
watched a video on YouTube from one of the guys that I subscribe to today, and it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that is right now. I mean, it's early. It's February 19th when we're recording this. It's probably been my favorite game so far this year, like a new big release, because it's just like it has the luxury of not being able to disappoint me because I didn't expect anything. I've never really gotten into Resident Evil before. Yeah. And it takes all the things that would stop me from enjoying an old Resident Evil. Like it has modern graphics and modern controls and feels really well done. And I still stand by. It's a great game.
Have you, I was watching Cynic Chris C today, actually. He just finished the Leon story, and he was going on to the Claire story. And I didn't know if you're aware, but if you go into the options, you actually have the option of using the old school soundtrack and sound effects from the original game. Yeah,
and with the DLC that they added on Friday, you can actually load up their like 90s character models too.
Yeah, he showed us that. Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah, that game, all the speedrun stuff unlocks and challenge mode stuff unlocks different cosmetic stuff. So costumes, like there's a character you can unlock like a skull head for him, or
God.
I saw Bisha play. There was a tiger mask and a unicorn, and I go, try the unicorn. He goes, no, the unicorn's stupid. It's game breaking. I'm like, the tiger head's okay. What the hell's the difference?
Oh no.
I think he was just joking about it being game breaking, but
apparently, again, I was watching another YouTube video today about they were playing the Resident Evil 2 remake, and I don't know too much about Resident Evil, but apparently there's a character in the original one that has like a stuffed tiger. It's like a souvenir.
Okay.
And apparently there was, this is like a drawing from like his diary, and that's left around. You got to read it, and apparently there's some like dodgy stuff going on with him and that tiger. So yeah, you might want to be wary when wearing the tiger head.
That's probably where that came from. I mean, there's the game's really strange, and I don't know if it's okay to say this, but like feels like you could feel a Japanese influence in it, you know? Like I played a lot of Japanese games. They're definitely not afraid to just go silly, and there's a thing at the end with a tofu guy.
Yeah, I was about to say, the tofu. I forgot about that.
He's like, I guess in the old games he was like a blocky character model, but now he's like a fully rendered giant piece of tofu, and when he gets attacked, he like chunks of him disappear.
I think, I don't know if it was you that I was talking to about this. It might have been Chris when I was watching him, but I do remember them here, whoever it was, saying that, when you get attacked, you actually have bits of tofu just taken off you. So,
and there's different flavors of tofu, and each different flavor are these like different like weapon loadouts that you have. So one of them just gets nothing but grenades, and it makes it a lot different. It's really
just
wild.
Grenades.
Yeah, there's two different. I think we did a whole episode on this. There's two different characters, and they both have A and B story. Mm-hmm. And if you unlock all those on the highest rank, you can unlock different weapons and different loadouts, and have like an infinite knife that doesn't take any degradation, or you can have infinite ammo on certain of your guns.
Yeah,
and I think I don't remember which color tofu it is, but one of the tofus you get, he just has like 30 grenades, and you have to make the run out just like the regular tofu run. It's pretty wild.
So you don't have, can you not replenish them at all?
It depends on the scenario. Like some scenarios have places you can replenish. Some of them, they change it. Like it's the challenge run's very much tweaked for, what you absolutely minimally need to get out of there, or barely get out. So what they do is they put you like down in the sewers, and you have to run all the way out through the police station, through all 3 levels of police station, dodging all these custom placed monsters, because they're not in the normal positions. So it's like you have to learn the run and like strategize how best to make it through there with the weapons and the loadout that they give you.
So it's like kind of like a randomizer then.
Exactly. I've not seen I think there's one that's unlocked after you beat all the new secret ones that is random, but they introduced these new zombies that have like smoke in their heads.
Oh.
And if you breathe in the smoke when they get too close or when they blow up, it causes you to like develop a cough that you'll be running. All of a sudden you have to stop and cough for a minute.
Oh, man.
Which is like really inconvenient when you're getting chased by 30 zombies.
So just slightly, yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of good fun.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to playing that soon.
Is that all you've been playing?
Yes. I think so. Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, we should get on to talking about the Nintendo Direct.
Oh my god.
So go ahead and fangirl out. Do we take these in order, or do we just talk about the ones we're most excited about? How do you want to do it?
We can take them in order if you want.
Okay. I've got the Nintendo Direct website up here. Okay. And of course, they're not in order that they were shown there either.
Nope. It doesn't matter.
All right. Well, the first thing I'll just go from memory. The first thing I know that they showed was Mario Maker 2 up front.
Yeah.
For the Switch. And I have a feeling that you're going to have some opinions about that.
Oh my god. All right. Oh no. I absolutely...
Breathe. Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay.
He's scraping up off the floor. So the weird thing was with this, I was watching Zerka stream beforehand because he was doing Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see him play it because I essentially bought him the game and he'd been really looking forward to it. I love the game as well, so I was kind of like, I want to watch you stream it. But he didn't stop to stream when the Direct came on, so I was kind of oops, I'm a couple of minutes late for it. So I kind of switched over to YouTube and brought the Direct up. And Mario was on. I was like, huh? Oh, okay. All right. There must be recounting games that they've previously released or something stupid like that. My brain didn't click. And then it had the opening sequence, and it had Mario sliding down ramps.
Slopes.
Yeah, slopes, yeah. It's like, hang on. This is new.
I saw Mario Maker.
Yeah.
They were talking about a patch they were putting out for the Wii
U. Oh god, yeah. Oh no, the fan base would have absolutely gone nuts about that. If anyway, so that happened. So something sort of like didn't fall into place. I was like, that's not in Mario Maker 1. So I was like, okay. Carried on watching, and then it brought up the new wheels of editing levels and all the different new things that they brought into it. I was like, oh my god, this is Mario Maker 2. This is Mario Maker 2. And I just absolutely lost my mind. And then it showed the title card of Super Mario Maker 2, and I was like, my god, the fan base for this is they're just gonna absolutely go run riot, because
you know who I feel bad for though.
Go on.
So there's some kid out there right now. He or she has a Wii U. Their parents won't get him a Switch because it's just too much money. You have a Wii U. You never play the games that are on there. All the games that I see you want on Switch, they're already on the Wii U. I bought you Zelda. Quit asking for a Switch, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, they see the trailer for Mario Maker 2 and there's slopes on it. They're like, oh, I guess I'll go play Mario Maker 1 where I can't share levels or play online anymore.
Yeah.
But we joke all the time about how you can't make all the Nintendo fans happy. Nintendo fans are very at a glance, they sound whiny sometimes because they're so passionate about Nintendo games that when it doesn't go exactly like their imagination thought it would, they get super emotional about it.
Yeah.
And we're all guilty of that at times. I think it's safe to say that we've all, I know I've been mad at Nintendo for not doing exactly what I wanted. Where's my Metroid Prime? What do you mean you're going to start over? Oh, you're going to make it right? Okay, I guess I could get on board with that, even though it's going to be 5 years from now.
I know, yeah. But then I was watching a stream over the weekend when I was away, and there's a partnered Twitch streamer called Barbarous King. And he, I think he primarily started out in Mario Maker, but he has kind of devolved into other games, but he does play Mario Maker quite often now. And he did a step-by-step breakdown of how long was it, 30 seconds long?
Yeah, so I don't remember. Yeah, it was
short.
If it was longer than that, it was 45 or a minute, but yeah.
And he broke down all the different aspects of the trailer itself, and my god, there is so much in there.
They snuck a lot in there.
Yeah.
Luigi shows up.
Yeah, it's all the different kind of items and platforms and objects and stuff that you can have now that they've included from all the range of Mario games is insane. And if you don't pay attention to it, it will completely pass you by. I was having this conversation with Parky, and he'd kind of half watched the direct. And we were talking about the Mario Maker 2, and I was still properly hyped about it. And he brought up the topic and was like, well, it didn't really seem like there was much different to it. And I was like, oh, dude.
You're like, dude, you don't even know.
I may as well have said that.
Right.
But yeah, I'm ridiculously, excited.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that you watched this breakdown, because I got a question for you.
Go on.
Do you think that there are touchscreen controls in this one?
This was the conversation that Bob was having on his stream, and
yeah.
I don't know. When they brought up the item wheels, that would be prime usage of the touchscreen, because it would just make sense.
No, item wheels are for control sticks.
Oh.
Drop down boxes that you touch, like on the Wii U, are for touching and with a stylus. So I'm curious, because I watched, I didn't break it down like he did, but I watched that trailer a few times looking for specific, watching the movements of the pieces when they placed them.
Yeah.
And if you look at them, they all except for when they drag the 2 onto the Super Mario Maker at the end, they all look pretty control sticky. They they look like they're being moved by a control stick. And wouldn't it just be Nintendo to go, here's Mario Maker 2, and we have a touchscreen compatible device, but fuck you, we're not putting it on there. You're going to have to use these sticks, so.
I think, if the Mario Maker community has one gripe, it will probably be that, because I have played Mario Maker on the Wii U, and using the stylus. Using the stylus is a lot more convenient and a lot more fluid to use, but who knows?
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm placing my tentative bets right now that it wouldn't surprise me if they do that.
Just be Nintendo.
So then the next they showed like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, yawn, who cares? Then they showed Fire Emblem's Three Houses, and I'm already falling asleep.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people just not be bothered about this, unfortunately.
Yes.
So
it's one of those ones where you're like, okay, there's something I'm missing. This is what I did with Pokemon and with Animal Crossing and with other big games that I never quite clicked with me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, there's a reason that this game is so huge in Japan. It can't just be that it's been around forever. And then every time I've played it, I've just been like, snooze. I literally like got down during the direct. I live streamed this direct on twitch.tv/crunky. And when Fire Emblem came on, I was just like, oh, I'm kind of interested in this. And then they just went, and this house over here on the east, and they've done this for 300 years. I'm like, who cares? Show me the combat.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is just like, there's a massive market for it in Japan. And obviously, going back to the old trope, it's Nintendo. So maybe they just have like, such a massive market over there that it warrants another Fire Emblem. I've never played one, so I can't comment on how good they are or bad they are. They must be good if they're releasing them still.
Well, it's funny because we were talking about Wargroove earlier, which is a tactical turn-based strategy game. Yeah. That's basically what Fire Emblem is in various forms, and there's been tweaks to the formula, and it's a lot more complicated actually than even Wargroove. Wargroove's like a throwback to old Fire Emblem or a game called Advance Wars. And so maybe in the gameplay there'll be some fun, but they didn't really show much gameplay. If you've noticed in the direct, it was all story, and it took this turn into like instead of being a general in an army or a new young up and coming fighter, you're a teacher, and you like train a school, and the people that go out with you are your kids, and it's kind of like this. If you've ever seen much anime, there's like a certain kind of anime where it's a school drama.
Yeah.
And it felt like they were trying to do some of that. And I was like, yawn, I don't want to see that. I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. I might give it a try if it gets some favorable reviews. I know me, they'll have all the big websites will have like the RPG fanboys and fangirls review it and go, it's great. It's 9.5. And I'll be like, well, it must be good. I'm stupid. I'll try it. And
yeah. Also, speaking of anime as well, I don't know if like you took note or anything, but one thing that stood out to me in this direct, there were a lot of games that had the anime feel to it. Yeah,
definitely. You talk about like Dragon Quest 11 had that. Fire Emblem's Emblem did. Bloodstained. I'm going to say, obviously the Dragon Quest builders. Rune Factory was one. Oninaki, and what was the new Platinum game called? Astral Chain. Those all had very anime look to them. And the Daemon X Machina.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, again, that Daemon X Machina thing kind of passed me by. I don't know what is really involved with that one. I think I must have missed it. I may have been watching Zerka at that point because I didn't think it would interest me. But... yeah. Who knows?
It's people in mechs. It's okay. I actually downloaded the demo, and
there is a demo. Yes.
Yeah, I did not. Like, the character creator was the most exciting thing about it. The combat was really, like, there's no gyroscopic aiming, and it's not even a demo. It's a beta. So they made a point to say, this is not the final version. Don't judge us on this, blah, blah, blah. So I gotta give him credit for that. But D was very excited about Box Boy and Box Girl being announced. If you never played that, it's an old 3DS puzzle platformer game.
This is one I have no idea what this is.
So it's basically get from one side of the map to the other, and there's puzzles, and your character, Box Boy, can like extend in different shapes, and you have to use those shapes to traverse levels. It's a real casual game. Yeah. Like, and it's usually budget price. I think it was $20 on the 3DS, and
nice.
D heard something about it on a podcast or watched a review about it and said, I'm going to try it. And she like marathoned the whole thing in 2 days. Loved it. So she's like, oh yeah, that'd be great. I'm going to play the hell out of that.
I do like the style of it. It looks really cute and really simple. So
it's made by the people who made Kirby. It's one of the first new IPs that the Kirby guys have made since.
Oh wow!
HAL Laboratory, I think they're called.
Okay.
And then some basically there was a no update about Smash that, hey, whatever the guys from Persona 5's coming. Yay!
Yeah.
Let's get all excited. Here's a model that he's clearly not done. Who cares?
Yeah. That made me laugh actually, because like you say, it was an update about nothing. It was just like, we've got some things coming to Smash.
Yeah,
but we're not going to tell you about them yet.
Yeah, it's like, come on, you tease, give us something. What about Captain Code Treasure Tracker update, paid DLC, and 2-player co-op? I was like, whoa.
This one kind of caught my attention purely because of the 2-player co-op. Mm-hmm. I've held back on purchasing this particular game because of the price tag that's attached to it. Because I don't know how much playtime for me personally I would get out of it. It looks fun. Like I tried there was a demo of it before it actually got released, and I enjoyed the levels that were on there, but I don't know how repetitive it will get. But
I bought it for me and the family on the Wii U. And I marathon. I didn't 100% it, but I marathoned through all the story, and I enjoyed it. For a $60 game, though, it's a tough ask.
Yeah, that's the only thing. But I think with like I was saying, with the 2-player co-op, if that's an online co-op, I think I can get on board with that.
Yeah, if it's online, especially, because you could play with that with people all over the world or friends on the internet. I don't know. Let's say somebody that you co-host a podcast with, maybe we could play.
No, I don't like the guy.
Well, plus it's hard enough for us to find time to record a podcast, let alone play games with the schedules. But
this is true.
Bloodstained, Symphony of the Ritual of the Night, not Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night's the spiritual game that this is the spiritual successor too. I can speak good.
Is this meant to be like kind of a Castlevania?
Yes, it's the original director of one of the original directors of Castlevania Symphony of the Night is the lead on this. And instead of it being about Dracula, it's about demons and other things, but to look that way. This is the one that when he made the Kickstarter to make a redo of Symphony of the Night, he wanted to do Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and then they put out as a teaser when they hit some stretch goals a old school Castlevania remake, and that was the Bloodstained Curse of the Moon that came out a couple months ago. That was really, really well done. I super loved that because it was short and sweet, and it was nostalgic and fun, but modernized in all the ways you want it to be. So I'm cautiously optimistic about this. It doesn't look like it's got a lot of progress in the last year, but who knows?
Yeah. We'll see. We will see.
What about Dragon Quest Builders 2? Have you seen that?
I think I must have missed this one as well because
so basically, this is just like think like a little bit Minecraft, a little bit over the top 2D Zelda, but online multiplayer and dungeon crawling.
Oh, okay.
It's got a lot of little hooks in it that intrigue me because the online multiplayer, the co-op, the world building, maybe it'll be fun. I don't know. I'm curious to see where it goes. I'd like to see some more footage of it. I was really intrigued. Almost bought the first one, but I think it was price prohibitive for me. Right, and time. It was like, do I have time to sink into a building game like Minecraft? Where I'm going to spend 80 hours a weekend?
Yeah,
probably not. Well, let's talk about the one everyone's here to hear about. The Disney whatever the fuck game that is.
This looked mental.
I know. I looked this up. I looked at I'm like, this is like an April Fool's Day joke in February, right? What the fuck is this thing?
It probably came out of left field because when I started watching it, I was like, what even is this? But then by the end of it, I was like, actually, that looks quite fun.
Wait, I love Disney jelly beans. What's going on? I mean, I don't even know what. Mini games with online playability, I guess. Something like that. It reminded me of similar to Mario Party, I guess, but like with Disney characters, I think. But they're not characters; they're little rocks painted up like Disney characters.
Yeah, okay. They've got Disney skins on them.
Yeah, I know. It's like I don't know. You watch it be amazing game of the year. And we're like, well, we look like idiots now.
It's definitely interesting.
I'm going to skip some of this other stuff just for sake of time and talk about, listen to you talk about Yoshi's Crafted World.
Oh, yes. This is, it's not quite on the level of Mario Maker 2, but because no one had heard that they were going to talk about or mention Mario Maker 2, so that came completely out of left field and caught everyone by surprise. But Yoshi has been on the map since the middle of last year, was it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Exactly, middle of last year.
Yeah, so we've known about this Yoshi game Yoshi game.
Get it right.
I'm sorry, Yoshi game that has been coming, and it is finally going to be released at the end of March. Me and a couple of other friends are ridiculously excited for this because we played Yoshi's Woolly World on the Wii U, and I fell in love with that game instantly. It's so much fun, even though it's like, it might be considered like a kid's game because, it's bright colors and it is woolly and,
so it's a Nintendo game?
Well, pretty much, yes. But the style of play and the visuals on it is it's so enjoyable. I can't describe how good to play it is unless you have played it. And there is currently a demo for Yoshi's Crafted World on the Switch at the moment, which I have played over and over and over again. It only includes one level, but the good thing about the interesting thing about Crafted World that they've made this time is that there's the ability to flip the world. So you can play through it one way, collect all the things that you would usually do collect the sunflowers and the coins, etc., and do the objective and things. But then after you've finished the level, you can go back into it, but flip it and play from the other side. So you'd be going from the finish back to the start, and you get to see behind the scenes almost of the actual world. Yeah, because
the camera's flipped around 180 degrees. Yeah, it's really cool. I played through the demo.
Nice. What did you think?
It's not my type of game. I think it's cute and I really appreciate for what it does. I bought Woolly World for Molly and she played through, I want to say, about half of it. And I probably will get this if she expressed some interest in it.
Yeah.
But I could, even though it's not my type of game, I can appreciate it for what it is.
Oh, also the other thing that I want to mention is that it's actually co-op as well this time.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah.
The only one thing had co-op in it, didn't it? Maybe not online, but I know I had local because Molly and I played through a little bit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't quote me on that. I think I could be getting confused with something else. I'm pretty sure it had some kind of how Mario Galaxy had 1.5 co-op. The single player had something they could do.
Yeah.
How about those little dogs though?
Oh, see, this is what I don't know actually.
They had little Poochies. That's what they're called.
We should remember that.
Right. My name is Poochie, and I'm here to say.
God no. I have to go back to my home world. Anyway, so yeah, that's
my people need me.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that.
I'm very excited about it. But speaking of coming out of left field, I was super not expecting and so glad to report how awesome it is. Tetris 99.
Oh, God.
I'm talking to my stream and they show it on there and they're like, you and 99 other players. So I go, is this Tetris Battle Royale? This is like an internet meme someone would make on Reddit as a joke. And no, it's...
Yeah. Similar to what you were saying about Tsum and being an April Fool's. I was like, this can't be real. This is right. No, but
it's Tetris, but you could build walls and stairs, jump around with shotguns.
Yeah, if you haven't played it, it is free, so go and give it a try because it's stupid fun. For a Tetris game.
And Cherry and I were talking about this off stream, but there's definitely a lack of direction. It's super bare bones. It's you launch the game and it's turn the volume down. There's one song. And click go, and that's all you get. Yeah. Now, I did see there's a patch for more modes coming out, but if when you go to play it, the right stick at the top will tell you can direct where you want if you've never played multiplayer Tetris before, basically if you get multiple lines, so like a Tetris, you get 4 lines at once, you send 3 of them to your opponent, and you could use that right stick to randomly pick people, target the person who last attacked you, or target the leaderboard. You can also use the left stick to manually select, because you can see all other 98 people on the screen, and you can select them, and you can kind of get at a glance where they are if they have a real tall stack. What I found out today is if you start building up kill streaks and it makes your attack power go up, so you start giving them more lines. So there's definitely some strategy. There was a guy on Reddit that I read today, goes by the name of JonoMacD, JonoMacD, that said he's seen a lot of people play this game since it came, or he's played a lot of people, he's played it, and he's noticing in discussions people don't haven't picked up on this stuff, that KOs increase your attack power, and you need to avoid good players when you are in trouble.
Yeah.
So you basically have a strategy about how you target people. And by the way, at the very end, the top 10, the pieces just fall at free fall. So you better have your shit together when it comes to the top 10.
I've seen some of the madness that is involved in the last few, because our friend Gary Enrisen was playing it on stream before he went bobbed back into Zelda, and he got to like the last 50. I think his highest was like 6 or 5 or something like
Nice.
that. Oh my god! Those pieces do not mess around at that time.
I got a 4 last night.
Oh,
It was
nice.
the first time. And all those hours in the arcade, my mom was wrong. They were not wasted.
Oh no! I will say, when I first started playing it, I got absolutely wrecked. Like, I would be happily, making lines, doing a couple of Tetris here and there, and then all of a sudden, my what do you call it?
Screen?
Yeah,
I guess. The well?
Yeah. It would just like fill up with silver blocks, and I'd be done. I'd be like, well, all right then, I'll put that down. Don't like this. Down. Yeah. So
I didn't win on my first try. I hate it. That's what my daughter does.
Shut up. The problem wasn't that I didn't win. The problem was that I was fine. I literally had like 2 lines of worth of blocks at the bottom, and then within a blink of an eye, I would get wiped out. So,
I've never had that happen. I've only had it go 1 or 2. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And by awesome, I mean bullshit. But
yeah.
So did you see that they're putting Dead by Daylight out on the Switch?
This one, I'm not entirely sure about. This is a bit of an odd one from Nintendo, I think. Mm-hmm. But we'll have to see how this works. Yeah, I'm not too convinced on it, really.
Yeah, I don't like that game anyway.
yeah, true.
Like I've tried it a few times, and just like whatever it is, to me it's just playground tag.
Yeah,
but what about the whole I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that was about it, really.
Oh, okay. I was saying, what about that Undertale thing?
This one I'm quite interested in, because I haven't played this one yet. I know it's out on PC already. I think. So,
Rune of something or another.
Oh God, what's it called?
I don't know. I asked you first.
Deltarune, that's it.
Deltarune,
it's an anagram of Undertale.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah.
Well, I saw, speaking of other ports, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, but Hellblade's going to come there. The Grid Autosport's coming. That and that Dead by Daylight. I'm like, well, okay, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Astral Chain looks very exciting because I love Platinum Games, but the trailer didn't make me go, I have to play that. I just was like, oh, it's Platinum. Maybe Platinum has made several games that I didn't think I'd like and I loved. So I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. What I will do is I will follow the development closely, watch trailers, look at reviews, and make a decision the week it comes out of whether I try it or not. Especially, there's talk of co-op. So if it's got it's got an online co-op, section, I might get that.
Yeah, this looked kind of cool. The combat element of it looked pretty fluid and quite interesting and exciting. So not something that I've ever heard of. So it might be.
No, it's a brand new IP.
It might be quite fun to play then.
Yeah. It's like one of those things that you're like, what is this? This is weird. But we're always wanting new IPs. Quit making sequels. Yeah. So every time they do it, they're like, well, then buy it. Jesus.
Yeah. We gave you what you wanted. Now you don't want it.
Yeah. You don't even know what you want, jerks. But all right, all of this was the whole rest of this direct was just a way to set up what's coming next, and that is The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening for the Nintendo Switch, and just a bit of history for friends of the podcast, so listeners to the podcast. I met Cherry Cake through Twitch, watching her play Zelda: Link's Awakening on the 3DS. Well, no,
it was the Game Boy version.
Game Boy version. Yeah. And she has expressed on this podcast multiple times it's one of her all-time favorites. So I messaged her. I was in the middle of my stream. I said, hey, by the way, there's a Zelda coming, Zelda Link's Awakening. And she's like, what?
I know! Yeah. This one, I wasn't expecting it to be Link's Awakening, but we talked beforehand, before the Direct, and you said that you got from a reliable source that there was going to be another Zelda game. But
I got a guy on the inside. He gave me all the
connections.
It was something I read on Reddit about a leak from a supposedly valid source, and every one of them was right. Yeah. Including Mario Maker 2. So big ups to that guy who I'm not going to look up his name.
You had mentioned, even though it was going to be a Zelda game, but you kind of hinted at it, that it could be a Link Between Worlds, which I would have been happy with because I haven't played that. I haven't had the means to play it because it's on 3DS?
Yes.
So it's one that I will probably never really get to play, but I've heard it's quite good. So I would have been perfectly happy with that. But when I saw the mountain and the egg, I was like,
you knew.
No.
I called it when I saw the water. I said in the water, I go, this is like the beginning of Link's Awakening. And then when it showed him like showed the guy in the green shorts pulling the sails, I was like, I said, this is either Link's Awakening or a sequel to it. And then when I saw the egg, I'm like, well, that's gotta be Link's Awakening remake.
Yeah. That. I'm really, unfortunately we haven't got a release date for this. This is just 2019, so I get the feeling it will be towards the end of the
Christmas,
year. Yeah. Which I don't mind waiting because I've got plenty of other things to look forward to.
Exactly.
So
you'll still be playing Mario Maker all year.
Yeah, you won't see me for months when that gets released. The thing about this one is that they've completely changed the art style in it. And I know it's, I've talked to some people and it's quite a dividing factor in it. I'm happy with it. It looks really neat and really smooth and really well done. But I know
people who don't like it, what do they want it to be, black and white?
No, I don't know.
The original was green and black.
I know. I didn't question any further, but I think maybe because it is such a departure from the old one, but I don't know really what you could do even if you turned the green and black into color, it would still look dated. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's great because if you notice, the old one was grid based, right? Everything's sprite based, so the grids. This one is clearly 3D grid based. So they're gonna. I saw maybe it was Game Explain on YouTube do a shot by shot comparison, and like it seems to be as what do you call it? True to the original in a 3D space. That's the way Link Between Worlds felt to me too. Link Between Worlds was basically a sequel to Link to the Past. Yeah,
one on the SNES.
Yeah, the one on the SNES, and it basically used the same world, modernize it in a 3D environment, and it was great. And they added a mechanic where you could like go 2D on the walls and stuff.
Yeah,
it was. Absolutely. Like, I don't really, a lot of people will tell you, I say a lot of people, I've heard from a lot of my friends that the over-the-top overhead Zelda games are their all-time favorites.
Yeah.
Even I think Breath of the Wild may have turned a few heads this time being like a hugely popular 3D game.
Yeah.
But like the top-down Zeldas are some people's favorites, and that's exactly what this is. It's not going to be like a move the camera around game. I bet it's going to be fixed camera.
Yeah. If it's going to stay true to the original Link's Awakening, then it has to incorporate that static camera. Obviously move with you as well, but. Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. I am so excited for this. I really am.
Do me a favor about this.
Go on.
Just remember, it's February and you got like 10 months to build this game up in your head. It can never be as good as you're going to imagine it to be in 10 months. They're going to do this. Because I did the same thing with Breath of the Wild. I'm like, they're going to have time travel and they're going to basically have, they're going to start up the whole series again and it's going to be all this. I kind of built it up in my head.
But this is just a remake of an old game. So I don't expect anything more from it other than what Link's Awakening was. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't have any expectations of flipping time travel or, going to a different island or something like that. So,
did you ever play Link to the Past on SNES?
I did, yes.
That where you could jump back and forth between the dark world and the light world?
Yeah.
And then Ocarina of Time did time travel. You could go young Link and old Link in the game, and the worlds were different in the past.
Okay, technically, yeah. But
so that's where I came from. And then I saw like all this future tech in it. I'm like, I bet it's going to be, the twist on this one's going to be they're going to go to the future. It's going to be awesome.
If they do that, if they change it that much, I will be quite disappointed in.
Yeah, sorry about that. My phone
That's
rang.
okay.
I'll edit that out.
All right.
Probably won't, but
Yeah, hopefully they can. I would love them to just keep the story as it was, but obviously just make the graphics just updated, because the story to Link's Awakening is great. It's the only one thing that I was slightly disappointed about was the end boss in the original. So
yeah,
maybe they'll up the enemy.
See, she's already doing it. She's already thinking, yeah, they have to. They'd have to do that. They'd have to make it less disappointing.
I said maybe. I didn't say have to.
No, today it's maybe, and then tomorrow it's like, yeah, we've already talked about that. They're definitely doing that.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, it's just dumb for them to not do
why
that.
wouldn't you not, right?
Well, exactly, yeah.
It's like when Dark Souls Remastered came out. Like, well, surely they're going to fix the area they never finished in the original release. Nope.
No. I tell you.
All right. Well, what did you not see in the direct that you wanted to see? Anything?
To be honest, I think I was so blown away with them announcing Mario Maker 2 and Zelda. I just didn't really care. There wasn't anything that I had expectations to see. I know there were some people that were hoping for something on Animal Crossing or the new Pokemon, canon Pokemon, I guess, if you want to call it that. But honestly, I'm very impressed by Nintendo this time around. So
yeah, I think they need to just cancel Animal Crossing altogether.
Don't say that. You'll polarize our audience.
Yeah, I'm joking. I understand there's a lot of fans out there for it. But like Pokemon, I just don't, those games don't click with me, but that's okay. Hey, you guys are everyone has different tastes and yours are just wrong.
One thing I am curious to see, actually, I was talking to Parky about this as well, is that now they've announced these things now in February. I'm quite curious to see what they're going to bring to E3 when that happens. Is it in June?
I don't know. Somewhere around there, May or June.
Because I remember looking it up because it coincides with the release of Mario Maker 2, because that's also in June as well. Whether it will be before or after, I don't know.
Well, that's good. Maybe they'll show the Animal Crossing and Pokemon stuff then.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe. So we'll see what happens there.
They'll show you more of Link's Awakening, new stuff, all the new stuff they're going to put in their
I'm going to hate you so much if you're right.
So I didn't really have anything I was missing. I mean, things I keep an eye out for, but didn't notice any Metroid news. But they just talked about that recently.
Yeah.
And then maybe an F-Zero thing. I didn't see anything coming out on that. We didn't talk about the Star Fox Starlink game, but honestly, I'm not very into it. So I'm sure there's a rabid fan base out there for it, and I have nothing against it. Just hasn't really caught my eye yet. But
no, I was a fan. Like, I was curious about that when it first got announced, but I've kind of fallen off it, I guess. So, but yeah,
I'm saying. You know what? I didn't talk about Anthem in what have we been playing lately. So just real quick, it sucks.
Yeah, that's all you need as a headline.
No, it's worse. It's worse than bad. It's bad would be like, oh, it's just bad. And it's just boring. It's so middle of the road. Nothing really great about it. I've put about 6 hours into it, which isn't enough to give it a fair critique, but that's where I'm with it right now. By next week, I'll be like, I was so wrong, Cherry. I loved it. It's great.
Oh, no.
But right now, my initial impression of it anyway, so that's why I didn't want to give too much of a pass on it. I've only put about 6 hours into it, but literally, I've ended both my streams with, I don't want to play this anymore and switch games.
See, this was like the very immediate reaction that I had when I saw it. Was it E3 last year?
I don't know. I've no interest in it. The only reason I even booted it up is because I have the Origin all access. So it was like, you could just get it a week early. I'm like, well, I'll stream it and give it a fair open-eyed review, or not review, but like just a try and see what I think about it. And
avoid that dumpster fire then.
Yeah. It's sort of like Destiny when Destiny launched. Like, there wasn't a whole lot to do for the short term, and then they put out a bunch of DLC, which is probably the route this one goes, because why wouldn't DLC, it's cash cow? Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's enough about terrible games. We have some news.
Yes, we do.
Would you like to let everyone know?
Okay, so basically, guys, we are delving into the realm of Patreon. So if you don't know what Patreon is, basically it is a site where we can set up, it's almost like a shop, I guess, if you want to categorize it. But what we're going to end up doing is we're going to be putting some extra content on there. So we're going to do an extra podcast for you guys. We're going to start off with it being twice monthly, where you can pay $2. It's very, very minimal. It's not going to break the bank. And you will get access to those podcasts. Now, if you want to go and look, there are different tiers that you can choose, and you will get different perks. So anything that you guys want to anything that you want to pay for the tiers, you can go and check out and see what you can get for it. So there's different ones. So there's like the $2 one, there's a $4 one, $10, $25, $50, and a stupid $100 one. So if you have too much money, please feel free to throw that at us. Any of the money that you guys do decide to support us with will go back into the podcast to produce the higher quality and bring more stuff to you guys. So if you are interested in that, you can go and check us out at the Patreon, which is just... that is a good question. What is the...
Patreon.com/GoLurkYourself. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Crunk will probably put the link down below the podcast for today.
And if you're not interested in Patreon at all, don't worry. Nothing's changing with this podcast. We're still going to put out an episode every week. We missed a week last week, but that had nothing to do with Patreon. That happened to do with schedules. If you've listened to this podcast we've been doing it for a year and a half now. We've missed an episode once or twice, but we do this podcast so we don't make any money off of it. We do it for free, and we don't charge anything for it. The Patreon is a place that we said, okay, after we did it for a year, we said, okay, what are we doing this for? We really like doing it. We don't want to stop doing it, but is there a way to monetize it? And we didn't want to start introducing ads into this show. We feel that would be a betrayal to the people who have been here the whole time. I hate ads. Cherry hates ads.
Yeah.
And we figured, hey, if it were me and I was listening to a podcast that I loved and they were putting out extra stuff for $2 a month, it's a no-brainer. I mean, it's, $24 a year to get, and you're going to get extra stuff. That's the bare minimum. And that's just to get the extra stuff. You'll still get, this is all you want, you'll still get it for free.
Yep. And there's also some great stuff on there, guys. If you go and look at the other tiers, you can get some really cool merchandise from us. So you can get stickers from us. You can get there is t-shirts on there as well. We also going to be introducing a Q&A on the extra podcast. So there is a tier that if you have questions for us, your question will be included in the extra podcast and answered by us. And you can also put forward topics that you want us to cover in one of the tiers. So there's loads of interesting stuff. So if that does take your fancy, please do go and have a look and consider supporting us just a little bit.
And there's a hidden tier that you Cherry doesn't know about yet. If you spend $25,000, you get a personal visit from the both of us.
Wait, what?
We're going to have it at Go Lurk Yourself Con 2020 when we have our own convention.
My God, for $25,000, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll make that happen. We'll do a live podcast.
Yeah.
But some of we have some tiers in there now. Some of the things that we're kicking around in the future but haven't committed to yet is having you interviewing you live on the stream or on the podcast. There may be a tier for that going forward. Recommending the game that we review. If you have an old game you want us to play and review, talk about, we'll do that. Those will be the kind of things you'll get on the bonus show. The bonus show will have a little bit different of a structure. Cherry's still, I think, working on that right now.
Yep.
But expect some things that we'll talk about there. But again, I want to reiterate to everybody who's listening to this, we're not selling out or taking anything away from this show. This is just bonus stuff, and we're using this platform to advertise that because while it's not a ton of money, I pay out of my own pocket to host this show, and have been doing that for a year and a half. And this is a way to just to at least pay for that. That's our immediate goal is to pay for that, and then maybe pay for our time sometime down the road.
It would be nice, yes.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of work that goes into making each episode. Contrary to what some commenters have said, we do actually do a little bit of research.
Let it go. One person said something.
I know, more than one person, but that's okay. I honestly welcome constructive feedback like that. I do appreciate it. Even if it's 2 a.m. and I don't take it the right way when I get it. That's just human nature. Everybody, nobody goes on the internet and has a civil conversation these days, do they? But, there's also editing, editing the episode could take, upwards of an hour or two. Cherry edits a lot of the artwork that we use for this. And it's just, there's a lot of work that goes into it. And that's where the Patreon's coming from.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of things that, obviously behind the scenes that you guys don't see, but we do like to think that we work kind of hard on this to bring you at least a semi-decent podcast. So
yeah, I mean, I got up this morning and I put on clothes for this show.
Oh,
I mean, come on, that's a lot of work.
Oh, yes, that is a lot of work for Crunky. For those that don't know him.
But anyway, I think I've promoted/defended what we're doing well enough.
Yeah, so if you guys are interested, do go and check it out. It's patreon.com/go lurk yourself.
And if not, you can just hear us again here next week.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Cherry, how can everyone get a hold of you if they need to talk to you?
So, if you do want to contact me in any way, shape, or form, you can probably best on Twitter, where I am at CherryCake518, and you can catch me sometimes these days on Twitch. It is twitch.tv/CherryCakeTV.
She said sometimes because there's construction going on at her house today, and she can't stream.
My schedule has been all over the place lately.
I mean, you can't stream. You just hear bang, bang, bang in the background of people hammering shit.
You're not kidding. It's directly outside my room now as well. So I have men that can see into my room. So. Oh, well, it's not all bad in, I guess. Well, I think they'll get more of a scare then. Anyway, Crunk, how can people get hold of you?
I am at Crunky_Twitch on the Twitters, and on Twitch TV, I'm at twitch.tv/Crunky, and that's Crunky with 2 N's. And you can also tweet at GLY Podcast on Twitter as well. We both have access to that and can get your message there. So feel free to hit us up for show ideas, feedback for the show, feedback for what we're doing with Patreon, ideas about, new segments if you want to hear it. We've not had a lot of guests on lately. We used to, in the early days, interview Twitch streamers and talk about the process of streaming on Twitch. We got some feedback early on and kind of felt like it was getting repetitious. If you want us to go back to that maybe once a month, or maybe once every 6 weeks, that's something I've been kicking around. But if you'd like to hear about that, let us know on social media or come by our Twitch channels and say hi to us and tell us all about it.
Yeah.
I've heard from quite a bit of people from the podcast lately, and it's been really awesome to hear from people. So if you're shy and you're worried, I don't want to go talk to them, we'd love hearing from you. So please come on over. Yeah.
Just drop us a line.
Yeah.
If you just want to talk to us.
Yeah. If you want to tell us how much we suck, well, then you can just stay away. That's what friends are for.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
But no, seriously, I've had some people say, "Well, I've been to your stream like 3 or 4 times lurking, but I was always afraid to say something." I'm like, "Oh, please, for the love of God, come and say hi to us." So you're not bothering us to come in and chat. If you've been to my Twitch channel, we're just hanging out, goofing off, probably having a beer. Anyway.
Yeah, we don't bite really
hard.
Too much.
All right, I think that'll do it for this week, guys. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye, Cherry.
Bye.